Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk with another episode of I Buy Old Records. I buy old records from a shed. So this is the final finds, and these are going to be some 45s I got in a shed. Now, it's not actually a shed. It's a big indoor flea market called The Shed. It's a place I've been to a few times before. There's three vendors in there that are basically record dealers, and that they have their stuff in sleeves. They know how to price. I mean, you're not going to find any awesome deals from them, but you're going to get actually a reasonable selection. And there are two of the three vendors have 45s, and in the times I've been there in the past, last year I was going through all their LPs, and I didn't really have time. I didn't really go through their 45s. And I'm currently on like a 45 7-inch kick. That's kind of what I've been thrifting for. And so one of the vendors with 45s had a bunch with like really nice picture sleeves, but just like this vendor, I haven't bought anything from either LP or 45 wise because this guy's way too expensive. And then the other vendor had a bunch of 45s that I did go through, and I did end up pulling out several. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a Blue Note. My first Blue Note 45. And so this is Jimmy Smith, and I'm probably pretty happy that my first Jimmy Smith record is a 45 that I paid, I think, like a buck or a buck 25. So the pricing was a little bit wonky at this particular place. So let's see, I have it in my notes here somewhere. Let me find it in my notes. Yeah, so I bought. So he had marked all. They all were individually marked with a price. I got some for 50 cents, 59, 99 cents, a dollar. So there's 99 cents and a dollar. There's that extra penny. $1.19, $1.50, $2.25, $2.49 was the most that I paid. Everything I'm showing did come from the same vendor. The next batch of 4 records I'm going to show you are kind of like my blind buys. And so usually if I'm blind buying 45s because they're cheap, usually my experience is they work out to either be totally awesome or they work out to be awesomely terrible. So we've got this one, Miss Butch Records, Sweet Black and Hot, Billy Ray Charles. The flip side is Shakin' My Shaker. This came out in the year 2000. It's soul music. Looked up the guy. He was about 50 at the time. They did like soul and funk. It really sounds more like 70s or 80s sort of funk. And I mean, it's pretty average. It's nothing outstanding, but it's nothing terrible. Then we've got this one, Xerox on Red Hot Richie Records. The Teacher's a Punk. So I bought it based on the name, and turned out to be pretty average early 80s sort of new wave. Then watching Max Stevens, and while he describes how you go hunting for records, so you're looking for parallel lines, so there's parallel lines. Big Mack Records, J.O. Mac McMillan with Monkey Business. And the flip side's called Be My Little Pet. And so this ended up being like some mid-70s country. Nothing too special, but nothing too terrible. It's in pretty nice shape. And then I'm going to show you the one that's just fucking horrible out of this bunch. So this is the same on both sides. Tin Pan Apple, which is a part of Polydor. The White Boys, Hardcore Is It Not? So this was 1988. White Boys were some white Southern boys with mullets who decided they were going to sound like Run DMC, with, of course, some guitar samples a la Beastie Boys, and it's hideously bad. But it's actually kind of funny. The rest of the records will probably rip through a little bit faster. Most of these are going to be pretty famous songs. So you've got Spinnin' Wheel by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We've got some Midnight at the Oasis with Maria Muldaur. We've got Patti Smith Group, Because the Night. Arista. This one's pretty cool looking label, so you can't really get away with songs like this anymore. She's Sexy and 17. I don't approve of the message by the Stray Cats, but check out that cool custom label. The flip side's called Looking Better Every Beer. We got some disco singles. I like my disco singles. More by Andrea True Connection, Part 1. And the flip side, of course, is Part 2. And that's probably the only song by the Andrea True Connection anyone needs. And we got some Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. This one came in the original picture sleeve. Taste of Honey with Sukiyaki. This one's cool just for the sleeve. And the record is on Capitol, sort of that cool looking Capitol label that I guess they went back to in the 80s. We got some Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar on Chrysalis. We got some good old cheesy REO Speedwagon, Keep On Loving You on Epic. More Epic, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me by the Culture Club. EMI America, Too Shy, Kajugugu. We got Columbia, Berlin, Take My Breath Away. You can see I did a really good job of aligning everything. There's a Giorgio Moroder song on the flip side. Of course, the love theme from Top Gun. And then finally, we've got some Luca by Suzanne Vega. And so there's some old records I bought in a shed.